Good morning, friends. I'm so glad you're with us this morning, and on this Fourth of July weekend. And I have a little movie that I made for you, and that's what's after this. But first, let's do our gathering song. We'll play through it once.
God welcomes all, strangers and friends. God's love is strong and it never ends.
All right, good. I'm glad you're here with us this morning on Fourth of July weekend, and we're going to talk about service to others, and that's what's coming up in the next segment of this. There. Ooh. Good morning. I bet many of you are surprised to see me in my full dress uniform on this 4th of July weekend. But anyway, this is called the Marine Officer's Dress Uniform, okay? And it's the mess dress, it's the fancy one that's for field grade officers. And I thought that this 4th of July weekend during the pandemic was a good time to go ahead and wear it for our little discussion. Because this uniform is optional for Marines, for Marine officers, because it's kind of expensive, of course, yeah, you have to buy your own dress uniforms. I didn't get one until after I retired when my daughter, Megan, asked me to wear it because the Marine Corps is such a formative part of her life. She was born in U.S. Naval Hospital, and she went to military school. She went to schools on base. They were just like your schools, but they were on the military bases until she was 13 years old. And I remember when we came back to Liberty, when I got off active duty, joined the reserves and got off active duty, and we moved back to Liberty. She was shocked when I took her to the first football game at how rude the crowd was acting during the national anthem. Adults, kids running around, adults talking. She's like, this is different. Because even on an on-base movie theater, they play the national anthem and you come to attention. Now, however, anyway, so, and don't even get me started about in the home of the Chiefs, okay? We're not even going to go there, all right? But this may surprise you, though. I applauded Colin Kaepernick's taking of a knee during the national anthem. And so that was the first time I wore this uniform. It was for Megan's wedding. She asked me to wear it. She asked me to get it for her wedding. The second time I wore this uniform was for a celebration of life service for one of my dear friends in the church, and a dear friend of many of you, Art Owen. His wife, Jareen, asked me to wear this while I said a few remarks. And Art served in places where, in Marine lore, in part of your Marine growing up, you learn like the Chosin Reservoir and Quai Son are places where he served that just kind of send chills down your back. So, why am I wearing it today? Well, it's the 4th of July, and we celebrate the Declaration of Independence, the birth of our nation. But let's be honest. The Declaration and that all men are created equal meant just that. To the writers of the Declaration, all men, all white men, all landowning white men. So we have a long way to go. And we've come a long way. And but you also might be wondering, how did this guy, whose parents were both pacifists, though my dad was an officer in the Army, raise a son to become a Marine officer? Well, it beats me. I think the painters just came in. All right. And actually, I know the Marines are and well, oh, I got kind of thrown off there. And actually, um, the Marines are darn good recruiters. And I remember reading an ad that said, nobody likes to fight, but somebody has to know how. And that kind of stuck with me because I hated fighting. I avoided it whenever possible, you know, on the playground and things like that. And yet I was kind of a playground avenger. But when I saw a wrong, I usually tried to reconcile it with jokes or whatever instead of fists. And many years later, when I was in the church and Landon Whitsitt was our pastor, he said the entire Bible can be broken down into one simple phrase: big kids take care of the little kids. Okay? And it's pretty much the Marine officer recruiting slogan that nobody likes to fight, but somebody's got to know how. And in a way, that's what Colin Kaepernick was saying when he took a knee. He was using his fame and money, to be a big kid, to call attention to the violence that our brothers and sisters of color, sometimes little kids, and sometimes little kids, experience daily. And that brings me to why I'm wearing this big kid uniform today. Whenever I meet new people and it comes up that I'm a retired Marine, after the shock wears off, if they've known me for a while, they say, "Thank you for your service." I never quite know how to respond to that, besides a polite, "You're welcome." And I know these people are mean it, and now it's become such a routine that it's losing some of its bite. First off, part of me is like, oh, now you're thankful. I never heard that when I had to leave my daughter when she was 6 weeks old to go to Okinawa and not see her or her mother for 6 months, back before all the hoopla of 9/11. And it seems like now, when we've engaged in a war for 18 years, that means children who graduated from high school this year were born the year I got orders to go to Kuwait and Iraq back in 2002. And we're still there. So part of me always hears in that "thank you for your service" a "thank God it was you and not me or my children." But that's harsh and maybe mean of me to say that. But a few weeks ago, when I was out on a run, it hit me. When people say "thank you for your service," they are truly honoring the sacrifices we members of the military have made. But how can we go further? How can we really honor our service members? We honor all those and thank them for their service who have fought in all kinds of ways when we fight for all children to have decent schools to go to. We honor all those for their service who have fought in. Good morning. As you can see, it's just me underneath all that get up in the uniform. And you can call me Justin Timberlake. I had a uniform malfunction there. I was going to dramatically take off each piece of my uniform, and then you could see it was just me under there. Well, you all knew it was just me. But to continue the point that I was making about how we serve and thank you for your service, I think when I said we honor those who want to make sure that all children have decent schools to go to, safe schools, with good water. We honor those and thank them for their service who have fought in all kinds of ways when everyone in the richest country in the world, everyone has access to a doctor. We honor those and thank them for their service who have fought in all kinds of ways, who stand with people of color, who have known injustice, police violence, and all the things that are going on that you see right now that makes us uneasy. But change is uneasy. And we need to embrace it and honor those who are working to make change happen. We honor those and thank them for their service who march in our streets for justice. We honor those and thank them for their service who have fought in all kinds of ways, who simply wear a mask when they go outside. when they go to the store, you can walk outside without a mask. Science says it's okay, or jog. But if you're going to be if you're going to be around people, be courteous, be kind, wear a mask. When we do this, and do it with God's help, none of us will need to wear a uniform again. I'm proud of my service. I'm proud of the places I've been. I was able to see 22 countries. I've made some of the best friends of my life. But I just wish there was a better way. In these things we pray. Amen. Now we're back together again. Bring out the candle that reminds us that God is with us. And I'm going to say a quick prayer. I pray that we all find our way that we can serve others and to do it selflessly and to bring healing into our world. Now I'm just going to let the candle, God's presence be with us in silence for 1 minute. There we go. Yeah, I'm going to take a sifter. And when this flame goes out, does that mean God is gone? No, the smoke rising. Oh, there we got some good smoke too. Smoke rising reminds us that God is everywhere. Let's go ahead and sing our going song. Go in peace. And may the grace and peace of Christ be with you. And it is with me because you're here.